Hopefully I'm live. I guess I don't really know. But yes, apparently I'm live, and my performance is poor. Well, hopefully that all works itself out during the stream. Ooh, can I just like go to the stream? I want to open my own stream. No, I want like... Is it open? Well, I kind of don't care about like poor frame rate, because like whatever, I'm playing a VN. Like, does it even matter? Come on, computer, you can do it. Cool. I'll just open up. Hopefully that all works itself out during the stream. Okay. Let's all good? All good? I'll pull up Streamlabs. How's my performance? Poor? Good. Okay. So... Oh. Minor issues. Okay. Well, my frame rate is like at a clean 17 to 15 frames per second. That's nice. That's all I want. I mean, realistically, I don't need like the best. Return? Yeah, okay. So I'm playing Arches because reasons, okay? Okay, don't make fun of me, guys. This is just what I want to play tonight. It just... it is what it is. Your stream is experiencing issues. You're running at like 10 frames per second. Good. An average anime then. I guess I don't know what to say to start, so let's just start. Like... Bren? Running was something he was always good at. He was always the fastest in his class. Just last year, he came in second in the 200-meter dash at the state track meet. Okay. Whoa. How good's my audio? I mean, it looks like my audio is still louder than the music. I guess I'll lower the game music a little bit more. Okay. Just 8 months ago, a coach from the University of Pueblo approached him about joining the track and field team after graduation. Ooh. Just last month, he realized he was the fastest freshman on the team. Just last week, he started to hang out with older men who could get him into Pueblo's gay bars. Ooh. Spicy already. I like it. Just 3 days ago, one of these men spiked his drink. Oh no. 2 days ago, he woke up in restraints. Just yesterday, he was being tortured. And who are we talking about? Like, just 10 minutes ago, he escaped. But now, he's realizing that it doesn't matter. Everywhere he looks is only burning desert. There's no one. His attempts to scream for help matter even less because his voice is broken. He can barely wheeze after what the man did to him. And now, his empty, droning sounds are being swallowed up by the desert. All the while, the heavy steps scraping through gravel behind him keep coming. The man isn't in a hurry at all. Running was something he was always good at, but now, when it matters most, he couldn't do it. The fastest freshman at a DI university was no faster than an old druggie. He definitely would have been he definitely would have been if he'd eaten anything over the past 3 days. If his ribs weren't broken, if he could see straight. The man had given him something. He told him it was for the pain, but the pain was still there, and now he couldn't even stand. His balance was shot, and he kept stumbling until he was just crawling on all fours. It's now that he realizes the man had let him get away on purpose. This makes him realize something. He was going to die. Tired from the drug, from the past 3 days of constant fear and torture, and from trying to run, he collapses. He lays there in the desert, sobbing, even though tears don't come out. He'd run out of those after all the things the man had done to him. The light above is blinding. He wonders if this is God. What is this, DJ? His mom was a devout Catholic, and even though he never believed, he promises that light that he'll become a believer right then and there if it saves him. The crunching gravel footsteps get closer. I need to go. His voice is still ragged and hoarse. The footsteps come ever closer. I have a meat? There's a childish, high-pitched laugh. Is this Brian? I really hope not. I don't like Brian. Like, I think he's a compelling character, but like, that doesn't mean that I want him around. You know what I mean? Sorry, I was just checking something real quick on the other monitor. There, I must have hit you one too many times. All you do is talk about your fucking track bullshit now. The huge form moves closer. You know that shit doesn't matter no more, right? His chest aches with overwhelming sadness and despair. And it's not just because he's about to die. It's because his mom won't know what happened to him. And it's because the last text message he saw from her said, "Love you, bug." Okay. With 10 hearts and kissing emojis. He hadn't responded and just rolled his eyes. He thought he'd be able to respond the next day. Or the day after that. And then after he'd been kidnapped, the man took his phone and sat it on the counter. It sat there and buzzed over and over with messages, and his kidnapper only laughed when he asked to at least read them. Now the tears just flowed just as the man leaning over him with something heavy in his paw. He hopes his mom is right about God. He hopes he can see her from the other side, so he can respond somehow. But there was nothing. Well, I don't like that. Oh no. Like, who is that? It really reminds me of Brian, though. Like, that's some of the dialogue. Oh, I guess if anyone's joining or watches this later, I finished playing Echo. I did at least one playthrough of every route. And now I'm playing Arches, because, can't get enough. Cameron holds onto the seat tightly, the coyote's teeth rattling together with every pothole they hit. His boyfriend, Devin, doesn't seem bothered at all. The bear's paws on the wheel with an elbow hanging out the window. He had been singing loudly to the music playing through the car's Bluetooth speaker. And he has a Bluetooth speaker? Bruh! Chase didn't have that. Like, come on. And it wasn't until cell phone service was lost that Devin finally seems to notice Cameron's unease. You alright, bae? Baby? Bae? Baby? Bebe? I don't know. I think you could go a little slower. Cameron. Don't be a bitch. What? Devin, I'm with you. Cameron raises his voice, yelling over the rattling interior. Go slower. Why? This is the kind of terrain this baby was built for. Oh yeah, it is my birthday. Yeah, it's a thing. Whatever. Okay, but Cameron's voice bounces as they hit another deep groove in the destroyed road. More for you can shut up. Like, this isn't a dating sim. This is a real serious VN. It's not a dating sim. I fucking swear. It's Echo wasn't a dating sim either. Like, it was just like a real good VN. We don't know what's around any of these bends. What if it just drops off and we go... Oh, damn it. And we go down the ravine or something. That's what the roll bars are for. Jesus, Devin. And I'm pretty sure I'm about to chip a tooth. Oh, come on. You gotta admit, there's something nice about feeling the road. Cameron doesn't respond and goes on clutching at his seat. Devin slows down a bit, more carefully maneuvering around the most broken up parts of the road. What happened to the road anyway? It's only been, 5 years? Flash floods, according to what I read online. Obviously no one's around for upkeep, so this is what happens. Oh yeah, I forgot how this state works. Dry as hell until a wall of watery death comes down the road during monsoon season. The coyote tenses up as the bear makes another smooth but still sudden turn. And it's even hotter than I remember. How are you a coyote, Cameron? This is your climate. You know better than to say that. Just because I'm built for it doesn't mean I have to like it. You know, Jenna used to say the same. Like, Jenna said the same thing in the first game, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, but you hate it in Fort Allen too. It doesn't get ungodly hot there, though. I can at least deal with it. Well, the transfer to whatever is looking good, so you won't have to deal with it much longer. Cameron shrugs. You know, I kind of like that this is... Well, I'm almost worried that this is in third person. Because Echoes was written in first person. And I kind of liked that. It kind of helped me, like, connect to Chase a bit. But with this being third person, like, I guess I didn't want to choose between whether or not you, like, played as Cameron or Devin, since they're supposed to be, like, a dynamic duo. Boyfriends to the end. Because that worked out so well for Chase. Milder weather would be nice, I guess. Devin grins. Nicer weather, nicer scenery, and nicer people. Everyone's a Mormon. Which is why they're nice. The ones living down here aren't. There's a big difference between the fundamentalists and the normal ones. Wiley Kylie's lamer, but no, Cameron's cute. Like, he's a bitch, but, like, I liked the bit you got to see from him back in Echoes, so I'm, like, kind of interested. Normal ones, the ones that baptize dead people and wear Jesus jammies under their clothes. Okay. Most religions are weird when you break them down like that. I'm just saying, whether it's magic garments or dresses, they come from the same fucked up places, whatever. Devin doesn't say anything, and Cameron realizes how bitchy he sounds right. Well, he better realize how bitchy he sounds. He's not as bad as TJ was, but, like, it's whatever. Sorry, I just worry how they look. It's harder to gauge people when they're all fake nice. Oh, like me. Hey, that's true, but look. Dev? I guess that's his, like... I guess that's supposed to be the cute nickname, I guess. Dev nods his head towards Cameron's window, and the coyote follows his gaze. The rocky, uneven landscapes has opened up to a wide expanse of blue. That's like Enma, which means Echo is, like, down the road. The bear looks ahead, and the first thing that Cameron sees is, thing. Rusty signs, which letters on top I can't read in the distance. Below it is a small, shabby building, and beyond it is a few smaller, shabbier buildings. Cameron wasn't sure what he'd feel like when the first time he saw the town. If the coyote really is what Devin thinks he is, then right now he'd feel all the awful, evil things that's supposed to happen here. Those small, rundown buildings should be excluded, the memories of their past, which would be blah, blah, blah. But Cameron feels nothing. Of course, he kind of knew this would be the case, but he'd never been to a place that was famously haunted. Not like Echo, anyway. So he was worried just a little bit. I'm curious what, like, the scares are gonna be in this, because, like, Echo was, like, pretty spook. Especially Leo's route. That was, had to take breaks because I'm a coward. Dev asks him in the past to go with the amateur paranormal. Yeah. I think they mentioned that, like, Devin has a YouTube channel for paranormal investigating. All because the coyote could see things. He'd remind Dev the proper word was hallucinate. Okay. So we are basically playing Chase again. That's good. The things he saw were manifestations of his own mind. There was no reason for him to give it fuel by going someplace supposedly haunted. Dev got the message pretty quickly and stopped asking. They still talked about all those interests he had thought, and Cameron realizes there was a lot more to Devin's interests in Ghost than just dumb fun. And even though he's refusing to entertain Devin's psych bullshit, the bear still took care of him. How long have they been dating? Like, how long have these two been dating? Have they fucked? These are the questions that I want to know. He done so much for the coyote that Cameron was embarrassed to think about it sometimes. So, when Dev got his chance to go to the place he wanted to go to the most, Cameron decided he had to go as well. He's doing this for Dev to show his appreciation for everything that Dev had done for him. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Still, Dev had been trying to make this seem more like a vacation of sorts, like Cameron. A vacation? Jeez, like, okay, we don't know exactly which ending of Echo was canon, but in, like, TJ and Flynn's route, the epilogue with Cameron was not great for him, so he would need to talk to the bear and let him was willing for the real whatever. He also needed to tell him why he didn't like doing this, and that part might be hard. Is it because he's a bitch? Is Cameron just a scaredy baby like me? It doesn't look so bad for a ghost town, I mean. Looks can be deceiving. Hang on. Gotta pull over for a sec. Why? Want to scout out the lake for a bit before dark, and like they did in well, why are the gays going on a road trip to Mormon country? No, they lived in Mormon country for a bit. So Echo is a horror VN, and this is the direct sequel. So it's just about like this couple going to the ghost town to do some paranormal investigating, and Devin's like all about, like, Devin loves ghost shit. Has a YouTube channel, super cute, and he's just taking his boyfriend for the ride with him, even though Cameron is not about it. So it's not really a road trip, it's more like we're going to Echo to, like, do paranormal investigating. Oh, yeah. Also gotta take a massive leak. Oh, Devin, just use a bottle. Cameron tries to sigh again, just wanted to get into the town so that he could be sure that he doesn't feel anything. To really make sure that there's nothing to worry about. He isn't worried about ghosts, but rather his own brain and what it might do. I don't know, you might be scared of some ghosts. Some freaky stuff happened in the last game. The road becomes smooth and newer looking as they pull into the lake. They were trying to run the recreational spot, right? When it all happened. They both get out. Cameron stretches his legs. Great. Oh, he cute. I actually really like the designs in this game. Kind of think the artwork's a lot better. But maybe it's those thicker outlines. And look at it, Cameron. He's cute. No, not a sequel to Echo the Dolphin. No. Just game's just called Echo. Based on the real life town of Echo. That's apparently in Utah? I don't know. That's too bad. It looks nice. Yeah, this place has a long string of bad luck. Well, I mean, someone died at this lake. Multiple people died at this lake. Depending on what route you do in Echo, a lot of people die in this lake. You may have drowned someone at this lake. Chase did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. bad luck is one way to put it. Oh, I really like the sprite. It's super cute. Hold that thought. I'm gonna pee. Dev waddles away, clearly having held in until he almost couldn't anymore. Where's the twink character? There's no twink characters in this. It's just gonna be these two. It's just gonna be Dev and Cameron. If you wanted the twink character, there's TJ from Echo, and I hate that little bitch. She's like the worst character in that game. Dev waddles away, yeah. Cameron shakes his head, remembering all of the rest stops they passed on the... Oh, God, that's that. Yeah, I feel that, though. With a sigh, Cameron leans up against the Jeep, staring out across the lake. Is he going to see a ghost? Is that what's going to happen? This isn't really bad at all so far. Sure, they weren't in the town yet, but all those dreams he had, all those terrible feelings... They seem silly now. It's just a small former town with a sad history. Oh, more than a sad history, friend. Lots of stuff happened here. And I didn't even play the smoke room, where they do even more bullshit, apparently. If his brain was going to manifest something out of this, that something would just be sad. Cameron knows that his hallucinations aren't real. He knows that since he was a kid, after he first saw a monster in a raincoat in his trailer home. The Raincoat Killer? We Deadly Premonition now? He also knows that ghosts aren't real either. But Devin believes. Or at least he wants to believe. Twinks suck. Twinks are like the worst part of these games. Any dating sim, it's like, here's this twink character, and I'm like, bitch, I am not here for this. Unless it's Shin from Morionatsu, then I'm here for it. But other than that, he wants it so badly, and he thinks Cameron can see him. Cameron knows there's something extremely preserving wrong about his disorder being used like this. I think that's a bit unfair to Devin. He's just excited. Devin is also aware of this. Painfully aware. To the point that Cameron was able to tell days in advance that he was going to ask about taking him on this trip. And yeah, this is wrong. But the bear doesn't even think Cameron is mentally ill, or at least that how it comes off to the coyote. Devin doesn't understand how it feels to struggle with reality, with the feeling that at any moment you could lose it. That isn't his fault. Most people have a solid perception of reality, like a normal person should, and whatever. Cameron, you got issues. That and Cameron never really told him what it was like or how he can understand. He's told him a little bit, but he's always been worried in the back of his mind that Dev would leave him if he told him everything. What secrets are you hiding, Cameron? What secrets? Did you kill somebody? Is that what happened? Are you haunted by your past? So Devin took those snippers. It had been over 5 years at this point, and Dev had seen Cameron at his worst, at his absolute craziest, and somehow he'd stuck around and still believed the coyote was just a normal guy with some personal issues. Cameron hugs himself a little tighter. What a bitch. Realizing that now is the time to really talk about it. And then after this, they can have a fresh start. I am at least 3 pounds lighter than after that. Jesus Christ. I did not want to hear that, Devin. You know, while I don't mind taking a piss in the wilderness, I'm not going to ask more than that. Yeah, I was kind of hoping there was there would be a porta potty or two around here, but it looks like we'll have to dig some holes. Devin. Devin, please. Cameron, I'm right there with you. You know what? I kind of like these two. I kind of like these two a lot. We can drive to the rest stop. Oh, what's wrong? The Coyote pauses, trying to get into the mindset this sure-to-be uncomfortable conversation is going to require. Just give me a second. Cameron sees the bear's demeanor change instantly. But while I'm giving you that sec, I'm sorry for teasing you and being all gross. What are you being gross about? Well, I mean, like, I guess you shat over there, so that's kind of... It's not like it was in our view or anything. I know this isn't really mood down, and I was just trying to lighten the mood, and, you know, it's because I love you. Jesus Christ, stop. I kind of like Cameron. Kind of like him a lot. I don't know if I like him more than Chase. And I definitely don't like him more than Leo. Because, you know. Yeah. Devin goes quiet and swallows, the sound comically audible. There's a pause, and though Cameron tries to keep a straight face, the tension just seems to break on its own. I would much rather hear you make poop jokes than act like that. What? Considerate. Sort of. You are considerate, just not in that weird, obnoxious way. Well, sue me for trying to be careful. I just don't want to say something stupid, and Cameron cuts the bear off. Just listen and talk to me for a minute. I know you haven't said it, but let's just get it out in the open that I know you want me to be here for more than just company. I'm not that stupid. Man, just calling this man out. And I just don't want to say that I don't think this is a good idea because what I have is a mental disorder, not an ability. I know, I shouldn't think of it that way, but I researched it and I just don't think it lines up with you having a mental. Dev cuts himself off as Cameron sighs deeply. Please don't. I'm sorry. But what's important is that if this helps you, whether I think it's real or not, you've done a lot for me, and I want to be able to do something for you. Well, just fuck him then. Like, come on. No. What I think doesn't matter. What's most important is, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be your psychic for the weekend. You're just here for the weekend? Buddy, I think you're gonna be stuck here for longer than that. Unless this game only takes place over the course of a weekend. Dev, I'm not spending the whole time role-playing like we're having a good, innocent time in that murder town. Mean facts. But I don't want to make you do something you don't want. You already took him out here. Devin. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Oh, I want to. I might not like it, but I want to do it. If only for you. That's cute. Nope, I've made my decision. I'm gonna do it. But just this once. I mean, it might be the last thing you do. If you're sure, but please don't put me ahead of you. And I did some research on the forums you linked me for a few years back, so my sixth sense is primed and ready. That feels, that seems to finally snap Devin out of his reluctance. Wait, seriously? There were so many people like you on that forum. Did you... Listen, I want you to find your answers, I really do. But I think the worst thing I could do is lie to make you feel better. I'm going to be completely honest about everything. whether or not I see something. Of course, that's what I want. And that's why you shouldn't be getting your hopes up right now. I'm just telling you that I'm gonna try. The bear stares at Cameron for a few seconds, just smiling. What? I'm just glad I met you, and that we're together, and that you're here with me. Oh, that's a sweet sentiment. It's gonna suck when one of these two dies. Devin wraps an arm around Cameron. Devin puts his hands around Cameron, pulling him into his arms as they both lean back against the Jeep. Oh, hey, it's the key art. Okay, I really like this piece. It's super cute. But seriously, if you ever feel like, I don't know, you're not into it, just let me know. Well, as long as you're not expecting anything, I think it'll be alright. Yeah. Dev goes on grinning and Cameron narrows his eyes. Because I'm getting the feeling that you're expecting a lot. I mean, facts. He's an excitable bear. Well, I'm also happy that you're being more open like this. I'd always felt like you didn't want to talk about it. Cameron also thinks. I guess I just didn't want to be told that what I see must mean something, you know? Yeah. That would get old pretty fast, but since we're talking about it now, does it not? Like, some of the things you mentioned didn't make sense, like that raincoat monster and what your old friend, but what about your old friend who, you know, tell me your secrets. Got shot in the head. After I hallucinated that someone shot him in the head. Yeah, that one. Yeah, this is kind of like a healthier relationship. I kind of feel like some of the romantic relationships in Echo were pretty unhealthy, but at the same time I was so there for it. Specifically Leo, but that we have a purpose in life, a reason. Reason, purpose, and the meaning of life means nothing to the universe. Everything just is, whether it has meaning to us. Yes, it's weird that I hallucinated the way that he died, but he was also involved in things that could have led to that. I knew he'd been dealing drugs in a risky way, so I knew his life was in danger, and I was on fucking ketamine. All the reason, yeah. Is what it is. Lots of people dealing drugs in those games. Devin shifts around, clearly uncomfortable and trying hard not to look that way. I get that, but there's a lot of other examples I could bring up. Maybe it's coincidence, but at some point, don't you have to wonder if maybe it's something else? Cameron sighs. Of course I have, but what always worries me about this paranormal stuff you're into, and the afterlife and all that, it reminds me of my mom. Is his parents dead? Is it just his mom dead? I want to know. Dev doesn't say anything, just waiting and listening. That's how considerate. You know, towards the end, right before I left, she was usually amped up on something to stay awake for her 3 jobs. Jesus. Whether it was a stimulant or meth, she could barely sleep. We had this box fan in our trailer, and one day, after she turned it on, she asked me if I could hear someone talking from the fan. I said no, but she sat next to it and listened, and eventually had this epiphany that it was God. And Jesus. And she did that for weeks, and there's almost all she did was, when she was at home, listening to the fan talk to her. I'm not sure what all it was saying to her. I don't even think I really understand what was going on. I just know that sometimes STEM addiction did that kind of stuff, especially when they don't sleep, you know. But then she started to look for specific shapes, arches, and half circles. Well, I guess we know about the name of the game, I guess. Huh. So we're dealing with half circles this time. Not full circles, not like everyone moves in circles. We're not doing that this time. We're doing half circles. This voice told her that she could get into heaven if she passed under the right one. But the voice also told her that Satan would trick her with fake ones that make the real one harder to find. She pointed these out to me, how there were so many, and yeah, they were there, but when you look at these patterns for something as simple as a shape of an arch, Cameron traces his finger along an arch of the wheels he's leaning against. We're gonna find them. You're gonna find them. Eventually she told me everything was warped. I guess she was so fucked up that these shapes just popped up to her, like her brain was highlighting them and she couldn't ignore them. On the last day she told me that even I looked like an arch and that she thought the devil had taken me. She looked completely done. She told me that she'd be back to save me, and then just walked out the trailer. A few hours later, she drowned trying to swim under a bridge, and everyone in the trailer park kind of saw it, and as just another delusional druggie getting themselves accidentally killed. Dev knew Cameron's mom drowned in a river while on drugs, but not the terrible details, and the bear just wraps his arms tightly around Cameron. Cute. But I think it was suicide, that she was just so tired of her shitty life, and that she bet on that bridge being the arch that would lead her to heaven one way or another. So that's why I worry about following these patterns, even if it's just something like looking for UFOs or ghosts. Yeah, I think the meth and lack of sleep pushed her over the edge, but is there something generic there too? What if I'm predisposed to it? I haven't used since the second month after I met you, but I still see shit. I'm just not delusional, at least not yet, but I worry. Deb clears his throat. I would never let that happen to you. I know I say stupid shit about it, but I know that it can be dangerous, and I'm always looking out for you. Wholesome. Love it. Honestly, it's nice to hear that, because just letting my mom sit next to that fan for 3 hours straight every day, feeding on her delusion, was the dumbest thing I've ever done. Should have thrown out that fan. Should have just, took it out back, beat it with a baseball bat, and threw it away. But I was high on my own drug of choice because I just didn't care. But the thing is that even though that hell she was in, she cared. I took too much a few times, and even though she was listening to her fan in her own world, sticking post-it notes all over the shapes she saw, she still noticed right away when my breathing wasn't right, and I woke up to her spraying narcan up my nose. Cameron sees Dev tilt his head in question. It counteracts overdose. But the thing is, my mom didn't like opioids. Is that how you pronounce that? Something like that. Because they made her nauseous. So that means she got those nasal sprays just for me. Just in case. Even when I thought she was too absorbed in her own world to care. So it hurt to think about that night. How I just let her walk out of the trailer like that. Cameron takes another deep breath. He hadn't planned to even talk about his mom, but it just came out. Sorry, I'm rambling. Look at this face. Oh, he's so sad. Dude, do not be sorry. But it's part of why I am the way I am. I know my symptoms don't perfectly match up with what you've researched on the internet, but they're close. And honestly, maybe you're right. Maybe there's more after we die, and somehow I can help you find it. But if things go south, and if something's wrong with me, pull me back. Thinking about the shapes of an arch still makes me sick. Like a reminder of what happened to her, and what could happen to me. Wordlessly, Devin pulls Cameron into a hug, and the coyote presses his head against his chest. At that moment, Cameron realizes that why so many people love their therapists. Do they like their therapists? I don't know. I've never done such things, because I'm a perfectly mentally well individual. He'd always worried that Devin would get too weirded out by what happens when he was a teenager. That Devin would finally see all of his closet skeletons, neglectful, abuse, blah blah. Oh, just like normal things. Just like mom. Oh, damn. Yeah, fun vacation, right? Yeah, 10 out of 10. You know, Echo was also about like a week-long vacation that went super well. It didn't end in a horrible nightmare and everyone was awful and half the routes like people die and it's terrible. And like I still can't get over Leo's route. It's been like 2 weeks and I still think about it. The definition of trailer trash. Oh my god, my hand. Had it in one spot that whole time. Ow. Cameron was all of those things at some point in his life, but he knew that didn't matter to Devin. Well, it's because Devin is a good guy. He's a cutie. Is he cuter than Juichi from Moriyanatsu? I don't know. I mean, I kind of already like Devin more than Juichi a little bit, because I kind of thought Juichi was boring. It is what it is. I'm going to grab my phone real quick. Doing the things, you know. Okay. After a while, Devin lets go, and they start getting back in the Jeep. The bear finally, slightly shaky. Cameron's confession was truly harrowing. Is that how that's pronounced? Man, English is hard. I haven't taken an English class in so long. Devin had known bits and pieces of his coyote's history, but to hear it like that, how he'd overdosed and almost, Devin shudders. He cares so much. It's kind of endearing. He's just glad that the coyote is safe with him now, out of that hellhole. As he's about to get to the other side of the Jeep, he stares out towards the town just a mile away or so. Well, Cameron told him that this had all made him feel better. Devin was feeling more confident than ever. Conflicted than ever. Not confident. He should be feeling confident. Like, his boyfriend just bared his soul to him. Like, you should think of that as, like, super trusting. And it's like, oh, Cameron, like, trusts Devin so much that he's willing to, like, just, like, tell him all of that. It's super cute. Everything that Cameron just told him practically screamed that this was a bad idea, that this wasn't good for him, but you're gonna do it anyway. Does it matter what he thinks about Cameron's hallucinations? That his skimming in abnormal psychology literature about hallucinations led him to believe that Cameron wasn't really mentally ill? No? How could he take him to Echo after hearing that? How could he ever drag him into this endless hunt for the truth ever again? Yet, at the same time, Cameron's telling him how he wants to feel, blah blah. Dev looks over the hood at Cameron, tapping his blunt claw against the soft tap of the Jeep. Hey Cam, what do you say we just keep going north? Check out the whatever, see what Bonneville? Is that how that's pronounced? Might be like, see what the Mormons are really like. Could be fun. While he says this, there's a crushing feeling in my chest, dreading that Cameron might say yes. But at the same time, hoping that he will. Yeah, I mean, going to Mormon country sounds better than, like, going to this deserted town. Like, it became a ghost town after the events 5 years ago. That probably means that you probably shouldn't go there. Just saying. I mean, with the way that things are going, I don't even know if we'll be able to cross state lines in a few weeks. They're starting to shut down everything. What, because of COVID? But Cameron stares back at him before smirking. God, look at the smirk. Goes all the way up to his fucking eyeball. Oh no, this is something you've wanted to do for years. Bonerville? Let's go with that. Yeah, that's about right. I mean, fuck me for dropping all that on you right before we got there. But I'm a procrastinator. I don't want you to feel guilty. Just be aware. Oh wait, no, this face from Cameron. Look at this quivering lip. Oh, fucking adorable. Would smash. And I kind of want to face my fears in a way, I'm ready for this. Cameron, you're gonna die. Like, I don't know. And before Devin says anything else, Cameron gets in. Dev looks over at the lake, actually not sure what he's about to do. If he was a good boyfriend, he'd drive away from this place. If he was a good... No, he's a good boy. Devin's a good boy. But I'm staking my life on that. Cameron would yell, curse, and moan. I bet he moans. About how it took them 10 hours to get there. And Devin would shut him up with one of those... Oh, that's about right. And he would never talk about Echo again. He would listen to Cameron and trust him about how it actually felt to see awful stuff. They'd move, get married. They're gonna get married? Well, I guess in the future, if they, don't die from this adventure. I could see that. Get a big house. Sooner or later, Dev would get his answer. Because everyone does at the end. As they pull out of the parking lot, he thinks he's made his decision. But even as he tells himself he's going to turn left, back up the road, after the road came, he turns right. Because just before he did, he sees a flash of pink in his mind's eye, floating in the middle of the pond, and it's like someone hit him full force in the chest. Before he knows it, Echo is ahead of them. Oh shit, are we at the motel? So many memories. with this motel. Like, damn. Dev frowns as they pull into the parking lot of the motel, staring at the graffiti-covered walls. The cartoonish caricatures have a way of cheapening this experience. This is this is only a stupid haunted house attraction. I mean, it kind of is. So this is home base? Huh? Dev rubs the back of his head, feeling self-conscious after talking this place up for so long. It's been abandoned for 5 years. Like, come on, guys. Come on. It didn't look this bad in the pictures. People never have respect for stuff like this. I don't think it looks bad. I love street art like this. And it just makes me feel less alone. Like, a lot of people have been here and they were just fine. Actually, keep an eye out in case one of them is lurking around. All those graffiti artists I know are really nice. It's not nice to do it in a place where a bunch of people got killed. Reasonable? Reasonable? Well, I think a lot of people would disapprove of what we're doing right now. And I know you're nice. So just lighten up a little. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's cute. Cameron walks past the bears, slapping him hard on the ass. How come I didn't get to do that with Leo? Devin raises a brow, not sure what to make of Cameron's high spirits. Well, he's trying to, like, take this in stride, you know? They just had one of the heaviest conversations of their relationship, and, well, maybe that is why. If Cameron was feeling more confident, being honest and open with Dev, then they could only be a good thing in the bear's mind. After returning a much harder ass slap that makes Devin yelp. Okay, Bear joins him in exploring the area. Considering that the motel is supposed to be the most haunted building in Echo, I don't think that's true, honey. I think that, like, the lake would be the most haunted, or the mines. Jesus Christ, the mines. I did not like that sequence in Leo's route. Well written, loved it, but, like, scary. I was scared while reading that. Considering that the motel is supposedly, yeah, I read that, specifically in room 12. Room 12. I don't think they ever said what room Chase stayed in, so. But most of the numbers are missing, and most of the heavy metallic doors are locked. Even though they're all dented from what looks to be the results of literal battering rams. Okay. Well, there sure seems to care a lot about boarding up these places. They probably got tired of dumbasses crawling in and getting hurt. Fair? Yeah. But luckily, I'm not a dumbass. I don't believe that, Devin. Hey, what about me? Well, I don't think a music degree will help us in this situation, but you're pretty smart. Cameron's a musician? Adorable. What's Devin studying then? I mean, he's wearing a Pueblo shirt, and that's like the college that Chase was going to, so. Oh shit, you're right. You're majored in mechanical engineering. Well, that answers that question. And you were, wait, mechanical engineering. Is Devin just supposed to be the Leo of this route? Because I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't think he's as cute, and he's not nearly as endearing as Leo was, probably. I don't know. And you work at the most valuable industrial automotive company in the country. Yep. Devin is a little taken aback by just how cold Cameron's response is. Well, go on. Your classes in dynamics and calculus-based physics should blah blah blah. Cameron's voice dips with sarcasm, and Dev can only assume he's making fun of the way that the bear had tried to impress him with his coursework during their first date. Is that what you do on a date? Just be like, yo, my calculus homework is real hard, but you know, I did it super easy, you know, 10 minutes, got there. That just sounds like such a weird flex. But Evan tries to salvage the earlier good-natured mood. Well, I could probably break those boards as long as I could move my fist at a high velocity, you see. The amount of kinetic energy. Jesus Christ, Devin. Devin's hearted teasing trails off. He never much liked the outright disdain for his STEM students, blah, blah, blah. It's just that it would get Cameron riled up, and that was funny in college. Navin just feels like a dick. I mean, he kind of is. He did kind of just drag his boyfriend here. Like, I don't know. Besides, Cameron's ability to understand and play music is basically magic to the bear. I mean, same. I mean, I did like 8 years of concert band, and like music is still a mystery to me. Devin's grasp of music is surface level, and he's slightly tone deaf to boot. Oh no, that's cute though. Supportive bear. I like it. Cameron wouldn't ever point this out. He'd just sing along and attempt to harmonize. I like this. This is good. And while Devin has been offered his 6-figure salary career before he even graduated, he had watched Cameron's dreams of working in the music industry slowly evaporate over the past 3 years. I mean, relatable. Now Cameron is working at a call center he hates. Oh no! The bear had thought himself to be smart in college, and yeah, he did alright. But now he's becoming more aware what a dumbass he is when it comes to communicating with actual people. Yo, same! With his literal boyfriend. Yo, same! Not really, though. He needs to apologize for this one. The bear clears his throat. Yo, Cam! Dev shuffles up to the coyote, and before he can say anything, Cameron just points out a door. See number 8? And the door over there is 3, so counting in this direction, Cameron's frosty demeanor is completely gone. 10, 11, and room 12. And wouldn't you know it, it's open. Aw, sweet! Thanks, I went to college. I mean, that's about as good as my math skills are. Actually, I just want... So, because I'm a bad person, I went looking through the game files to see, like, what all the sprite artwork was. And, like, Devin has a bunch of shirtless sprites, but this specific pose isn't available shirtless. And I'm like, what? This is, like, his cutest sprite. Like, just give it to me shirtless. Like, come on. Now, I'll go in first to make sure everything's clear. Oh, what a good boyfriend. I don't know, squatters? Well, get ready to find a dead squatter before... because how the hell would they survive? Actually, you just reminded me that there are a couple creeps that live here, like stubborn locals that won't leave. At least there's what I posted like 2 years ago. When did the epilogue of Leo's route happen? I think they said the time skip was 2 years for that epilogue. And this is 5 years. Okay, so that doesn't line up. What? I don't like the sound of that. Are they dangerous? From what I gather, they're more of the get off my lawn variety of creeps. Those types can still be dangerous. If no one's been killed yet, then I think we're good. But like I said, I'll look out for you. Cute. Dev lets out a mock growl. Look at him try to be like intimidating. This teddy bear, this cutie, nah. I'll make them permanent residents of Echo, and by that I mean dead ones. Are you gonna murder somebody? Devin, murder's murder. Now Devin can tell the coyote that the coyote really is upset. Why would you upset him? What's wrong, babe? You told me no one lived here. You said that a bunch of times. Cameron, it came up a few times on the forums, and the posts I remember were really mundane. I honestly just forgot. Alright. Damn, I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick, hopefully. Okay. Devin stares at the coyote waiting, and he doesn't say anything. Cameron, is there anything you want to tell me? If there is, I'm still hoping you're open, like you said. I know. Oh, this is super cute. Jesus. Hey, it's all good, man. It's not like I'm expecting you to just share everything on your mind now, but I'm here to listen if you want to talk. It's just hard to explain. I guess the fact that there are real people still living here does make it a little scarier. Does it have to do with the dreams you were having? Dev watches Cameron closely, but he doesn't seem genuinely confused. Eyes, please work for me. But he does seem genuinely confused himself. Kind of, but they were weird. I don't think they really meant anything. Yeah, I'm just overreacting. I hope you are, man. I hope you are. I'm just really, I just really don't want to have to search on top of ghosts. I get you, and there's nothing wrong with being vigilant. My friend from Southland, though, one from the town even more haunted than Echo. He says something horrific happened between a backpacker and an outback redneck every year or so. Reasonable. How comforting. But while I was sort of joking earlier, if anyone tries anything, I will do what needs to be done to stop them. Is that foreshadowing? Is that the kind of person that Devin is? I mean, I remember characters like Leo and Flynn saying stuff like that, and that did not work out great for them. If those men are still around, the bear has no doubt that they have plenty of guns. Oh man, is Duke gonna be in this game? Like, Duke never died in like any of the routes in Echo. And I'd almost think he would be the kind of person to like stick around, I guess. Like in an unhinged kind of way. Unless they are squatting in that room. Not for long. He's just gonna go in and murder somebody. The bear's exaggerated bravado becomes genuinely cautious as he opens the door. The room is hotter than it is outside, and as if it weren't magnifying and trampling the heat. Oh, God damn it. I mean, I guess the AC wouldn't be working. Okay, yeah, this is doable. Cam, all clear. No murderous hillbillies in the... Aw, gross. What were you expecting? We just need to straighten it out a bit. Look, there's even a mattress over there. You mean the one up against the wall? The dirty fucking mattress? You didn't bring sleeping bags? I feel like I'd rather sleep in a sleeping bag than, like, this garbage. Like, wait, we're not gonna use it for sleeping or anything, are we? No, you're gonna use it to have sex on. That'd be hot. Probably not, though. Why? Do you think I brought sheets? Oh, I am not sleeping in. Kidding. I already told you I have a room booked in Peyton. And we'd better use it, no matter how into this you get. Of course, but we might as well make this place as comfortable as we can. Cameron is quiet, and Devin turns to see him staring at the whatever of the Rusty Nail group and blah blah. Yeah. Yeah, great. Don't puncture yourself or anything. I'll try to clean those up at least. Oh, Jesus, maybe I should have gotten some water. Or at least gotten, like, more water. You'd rather sleep in the car? Well, I mean, it is a Jeep that they used. It's probably roomy. Probably. Oh God, they are just like, I don't know, friends. I don't know about this. Cameron watched his Dev step back, brushing his paws against each other loudly. Well, I'd say that's real cozy. No. Devin, we need to have a talk about the definition of the word cozy. Because this is not it. This is not it. I've seen actual homes that look worse. Damn. So yeah, I'd say so. I mean, this is probably like the living conditions that Jenna had as a child, so it is what it is. Cameron eyes the couch and slowly sits on the edge, not quite trusting it despite the sheet. So, what do you know about paranormal investigation? You said you did research. Turns out you just run around with a flashlight and call the ghosts a bitch. Oh, I kind of love how lively these two are. Damn, sorry. didn't didn't know the reality show Ghost Hunters were such a sore spot for you. They single-handedly ruined the credibility of actual investigations. Look at his face. Ah, he cute. Well, they brought it more attention, right? Anyway, all I really know is that you do EVP stuff, taking pictures, just sit around and just waiting, stuff like that. That's a start. Actually, I was thinking you deal with more stuff, uh, with most of that stuff. So what I mainly researched had to do with those who are gifted. It's almost uh, it's almost physically impossible for the coyote to use that word to describe people like him. Oh yeah, I wanted to say, that's probably why Cameron was the one who saw the ghosts in the epilogue of Echo. Oh yeah, I wanted to say that earlier. How happy I was you looked through the forums. It must have been annoying just hearing me go on and on about it. No, you're fine, Dev. Actually, Cameron much preferred to hear it from Dev. Half of the people on the forums were clearly liars with a savior complex, and then the other half were contacting these assholes to help communicate with their dead loved ones. Cameron couldn't stomach it and just ended up looking at a blog that seemed to be a bit more legit. So what did you find out? The way the bear lit up now that they're talking about investigating reminds Cameron that he needs to at least try. Well, according to these whatever, it's pretty simple if you have extra sense. First, approach the location with clear intention. I'm here to see or hear something from the past. Second, keep an open mind, which is something I promise to do. And finally, if you sense that the presence is hostile, always remember that it can hurt you. In these cases, there might not actually be a person. Ah, you mean like that horrible monster that you got to see in a couple routes of Echo? Like in Jenna's route? The light plug with the electrical outlet ghost? I think that they described it that way in Flynn's route. And like, yeah, that's kind of horror. I kind of like how it's described during the chase sequence, like during the car shenanigans. Kind of reminded me of Uzumaki. I wouldn't worry about demon shit, even I have a hard time believing in that. Hey, there's something we can agree on. Now, I gotta go out on a limb here and assume something terrible happens in this room. Why else look for a specific room, right? I don't want to tell. I don't want you to tell me what happened, but I also assume this is a bit of a test. Well, I don't want to call it a test. I'm going to be recording and looking for the thing that happened in this room, too. Just thought you might want to see if you sense anything and compare it to what actually happened. I think that's a good idea. I'm just going to do some light touch sensing, I think they call it, so I won't see anything, but just sense what might have happened. But tell me if you feel but tell me if you feel things aren't right, of course. I'll be fine. All right, I'll get started. We won't go super late tonight. Just want to get a feel for things. Sure, I'll get started by opening. Wait, so if you have like a room, I guess at a hotel in Peyton, wouldn't check-in time matter? Like, I'm just saying. Shouldn't you like go there to like check in at like 3 or 4? No? Can you check in late? Whatever. Maybe I'm overthinking things. Sure, I'll get started by opening my mind and making my intentions clear. Okay, baby. Love you. Dev leans in and kisses Cameron on the head. Oh, that's adorable. Then Cameron watches as Dev turns off the lantern, plunging them into darkness. I don't like this. Lugging around equipment while trying to be quiet about it quickly gets Devin sweating through his shirt. He's a sweaty boy. And he takes it. And he takes off his shirt. Okay, so we're here already. I kind of thought it was going to be like a lake scene, like you go swimming or some shit, but okay. He makes the extra effort not to disturb the coyote because Cameron seems to be really trying, his eyes closed and ears up. Dev doesn't need to ask him to take out his phone so he could record audio. He just did, and to Dev, that just proves how much Cameron wanted to do this. As Dev goes and tests his equipment, Cameron shifts and mumbles something. Dev perks up. Hey, hun, I'm right here. You alright? I need to get more comfortable. Take off your clothes, then. At the same time, he adjusts himself so that his feet are on the suitcase in front of him. Oh, okay. Something about Cameron's demeanor is bothering Dev. And Cameron's words were a little slurred, and he doesn't seem not quite there. Should he pull him out of it? Dev had never seen a psychic in action before. So maybe this is normal, like a trance. He hopes it's normal, because even if Dev can find his answers, he'd give them up for Cameron to discover he isn't psychotic. So he's fiddling with his EMF sensor. I don't know what this is. I think it's one of those beep boop things. I'm gonna assume. Dread suddenly clutches at his chest. What if the opposite happens and Cameron really did lose his mind? Like when his mom got psychosis. If that happens, Dev is only now realizing that he would be responsible, and how could Cameron forgive him for that? How could he forgive himself? Shit. Dev hisses under his breath. What the fuck is he doing? Bringing his boyfriend to this room where that fucking happened. He was usually alone or with friends when doing these investigations, and his want to see something always overpowered the fear. I'm just gonna move my microphone a second. Okay. He just assumed Cam would be used to scary shit, especially after he describing the flat-faced creature in a raincoat that he'd been seeing since he was a child. He just assumed. Why was it only now that he realized what the consequences could be? The feeling he had early about being a social dumbass comes back, but far stronger. This isn't something a loving partner ghost does to another partner. You sure? I don't know. I've never been in a relationship, so I don't know what the do's and don'ts are. And, I guess I'm going to learn from Devin. And if I ever do get, like, a romantic partner, I guess we're going to go to a ghost town and investigate ghosts and die from a haunting or something. It'd be so romantic. He's fucking using Cameron for his own selfish reasons, but we knew that already. Dev knows that the coyote has some kind of ESP ability, but that doesn't mean he didn't also have other issues that could fuck him up. That doesn't mean that possibly seeing these awful things wouldn't cause him to develop more issues. Dev gets up and paces for a bit, beginning to make up his mind, deciding that right after this, they're done, no matter what. The bear looks at at the closet, the one from where a wolf from Meseta Tribal Council hung himself in the early 90s. If only he could see one thing, just one sliver of proof that she's okay on the other side, he'd be okay with that. Dev lets out a shuddering sigh, standing in the closet, looking at that bar, wondering if it's the same one that the wolf used. Devin feels something. Not a good something. A chill runs up his spine, and suddenly he's shivering. No way. It's actually something. It's actually happening. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's all he can manage to say. It's happening, but it feels so wrong. Then a fear that I'm gonna make a save file real quick. Yeah. Then a fear that he's never known before takes over. He wants to turn around. He wants to call out to Cameron, but it's like something is around his neck, holding him in place, and then he hears a terrible sound behind him. Cameron knows something is happening for sure. It's scary, but at the same time, it's making him question what he always believed. Had Devin been right about this stuff? Had he just misunderstood himself for so long? He could sense someone. Nothing like monsters he'd seen in the past. Instead, this was a man in a suit with a bolo tie. He was sad, he was angry, and he was terrifying. Cameron knew this was often what psychics described when talking about sensing people from the past. You feel their most intense moment in life. This man, this wolf, he's going to do something terrible. And while Cameron is marveling over this, the wolf suddenly changes. At the same time, Cameron feels his focus turn to him. This gives the coyote pause before now his presence was trying to interact with him. Was this right? Cameron thinks it could be, but something doesn't feel right about it, like this isn't what he thinks it is. But he supposes that anyone doing this for the first time would feel it to be strange. Maybe he was doing the light sensing wrong. The point is to listen to the past, like recording. This direct communication is scaring the coyote, but this could be his chance to answer Dev's question, and his own question for that matter. I'm sorry to bother you. What's after death? Where do we go? It feels stupid and clumsy, but it's all that comes to his mind, so Cameron asks it over and over. There's a long, empty pause. Well, I don't like that. And then something like a crackle. It almost sounds fake, like a Halloween toy, but it's dark, mean, and it's making fun of him. All the feelings of wonder and hope for a breakthrough are deflating instantly. He needs Dev. He needs to open his eyes. Cameron's eyes are heavy, and he can barely focus. Something has gone terribly wrong. The presence is evil, malicious. This isn't a person. Now all the coyote can sense is that profound tragedy has just taken over. He needs Dev, and he thinks he sees him as his vision begins to slowly focus. Well, I hate this. I don't like this. At first, Cameron doesn't understand what he's seeing. How is Dev standing like that? Why isn't he moving? He realizes why over the next few seconds. The unnatural way Dev's weight seems to pull at his neck says it all. Cameron starts screaming, but it's weak, muffled, barely a wheezing from his throat, and he can't move. Paralysis? This isn't real. This is sleep paralysis, but something about this is so fucked, so real, and he couldn't have fallen asleep. He's almost positive about that. But even if he had, his boyfriend could actually be hanging himself while the coyote sits uselessly on the couch. Terror begins to engulf him. How could this happen? How could he do this? Okay, but this is a real cute, like, screen, but, Cameron tries to scream again, but again, it's just a wheezing. He stares at Devin's contact image instead of Dev dead in the closet. They took that picture in college 5 years ago and just a month into their relationship. At the time, he was a token to show his other gay friends to prove he had a boyfriend and that he was a handsome bear. And he'd never change it, even though he had no one to show it off to anymore. How the hell did they end up here? The phone picks up and switches to speaker automatically. Cameron knows deep down that this must be a dream, but Devin is still hanging in the closet. And he's overcome by the horror that this could just be a partial dream and that the worst part is real. It makes Cameron try and fail to scream again. You want to know, like... Cameron stares at the phone, unable to understand through the static, but able to recognize the voice. You said you wanted to know what? You wanted to know what like to die? I'd say it's like drowning forever. Conscious forever while you suffocate for what made you happy when you were alive. Then again, you don't believe in anything. So what you really want to know is what it's like to disappear. Because you're scared. You tell yourself you want to die, that you wish your mom didn't save your worthless life, that you deserve it. Now you tell yourself that if it weren't for you, you'd have ended things back in college. We both knew that's a lie, because you're a fucking coward. You'll stay alive as long as you can. As long as you can be with someone who can keep you alive. I could have treated you like absolute shit for the past 5 years and you'd still be around today. You fucking begged Dylan not to leave you, just weeks after he punched you and gave you that scar. The one that you said you got from falling against the cabinet. You're sick. Meanwhile, you let me put you into this situation. You said you wanted it. Do you still want it? No. Please, God, no. Cameron couldn't even move his lips. Anyway, I'm getting a little off topic, aren't I? You wanted to know what the afterlife is like. I'll give you an idea. Devin's voice becomes muffled. Yo, Lapita, tell my boyfriend what it's like. It's quiet for a moment, and Cameron sits in a stunned misery, just waiting. A terrible demonic scream scratches through the phone, and Cameron's fur bristles all over his body, and he fights this prison that he's in within everything he has, and finally breaks free. It takes Devin a moment to realize the terrible sound is coming from Cameron. He's never heard it make that much sound before. At the moment, whatever it is that has hold of the bear dissolves, and Devin turns around, heaving for breath. When Devin looks at him, he sees Cameron's eyes are wide open. Cameron! Cameron makes that sound again. Though Devin has no idea what Cameron's seeing, he knows that it's something terrible. Devin feels himself beginning to panic. Baby, please, what's happening? Cameron just stares back, and Devin finally snaps. Cameron! Devin is stepping out of the closet when suddenly Cameron lunges off the couch, making a feral sound. The look in the coyote's eyes is instantly unlike him, that Devin draws back in fear. Honey, it's me. In Devin's shock, Cameron's paws fly into the bear's neck, but instead of squeezing like he thinks he's going to, they rip at the fur. Stop. Devin manages to catch Cameron's paws with his own much lighter paws and easily restrains the smaller male. Cameron continues to stare at Devin's neck, seeming to search instantly. Then he looks up at Dev's face. I saw you dead. You called me and screamed at me. Okay. Though Dev doesn't understand, he can tell this wasn't one of Cameron's typical night terrors. The look on his face says it all. Fuck. I'm really sorry. I'm driving you to Peyton right now, or whatever the hell you want to go. But as Devin tries to pull himself to the door, Cameron resists. Wait, just let me catch my breath, okay? Okay. Just take deep breaths, okay? Devin fumbles with the lantern until he turns it on. Then he stands next to Cameron for a moment, listening to him sob. Can I at least hold you? Please? Cameron leans towards him as an answer. Devin strokes his head. Cameron starts to rub his back, like he knows that Dev has been terrified too. I'm fine. I was just a really intense vision. I'm so sorry. I've never seen you like that before. You scared the absolute shit out of me. Did you think I was attacking you? You were going after my neck, sort of. Oh, no. I saw you hanging in the closet. Cameron's breath hitches in his chest. Like, from your neck. Oh, shit. Yeah, it was so fucking real. They hold each other in silence for a while. Devin mulling over what Cameron just told him. Devin no longer has doubts that Cameron is psychic, but really, now that doesn't matter. He just wants the coyote to feel safe again. Yo, same. Devin? Yeah, honey? I think you're right. What about? Something happened. I don't know if it's ghosts or whatever the hell else that could have been, but that wasn't just me. I've never felt or seen things like that before. There's more to this than me being crazy. There has to be. We can talk about this when you're in Peyton, okay? Dev, I promise to be honest with you, and I need to tell you something now, otherwise I probably never will. What is it? Dev's heart starts to pound as he sees the look in Cameron's face. Lupita was in this vision, Dev. But please believe me when I say that I don't think it was really her, but... What? Cameron hesitates. Cameron, please tell me. I'm really sorry, but I heard her. But it was awful, and I don't know. It was just a terrible scream. It was horrible. The floor seems to fall out from under Devin, and he feels like he's falling into an abyss. To be continued. Well, I really enjoyed that, I think. No, I did enjoy that. And I'm kind of really looking forward to the rest of this game when it finally comes out. I know that Build 2 is is a Patreon exclusive, and it came out just 2 weeks ago. And it usually takes them like a month to make a build public. So hopefully in a couple of weeks. But I'm really enjoying this so far. Like I kind of love Cameron and Devin, both as characters. I'm kind of glad they slimmed down the cast to just 2. Because juggling 6 to 7 characters in a typical route of Echo kind of felt cluttered, and most of the time the entire cast wasn't involved in the individual routes of Echo. It kind of annoyed me that like in TJ's route and in Carl's route you just don't get to see anybody. Like you're kind of just stuck with them in their own routes. And it didn't feel that way in Jenna's. I think Jenna's is a real nice ensemble piece, but you give the motel only 3 stars? Okay. That's reasonable, though. That's very reasonable.